back up. What the heck? There we go. I think we're coming back. Nope. It's not going. What the heck? Oh, there we go. I think we're back. Yep, we're live now. Awesome.
Okay.
Cool. Hopefully you guys picked up that this is Battle Arena, Game 3, Ugly Tuco and Frownpower here. But it looks like... Oh, that's so confusing. Somebody named themselves Horse Doctors. I thought I was talking to Horse
That's
Doctor
Fall.
for a second. Yeah, that's Fall. So here we are getting ready to start the final Game 3. Looks like we're still alive. I'm just paranoid and checking now. But, let's see. We were talking about Jungle Malphite. We're not really sure what to expect. Jungle Elise, we're probably expecting a Cinderhulk or Runeglaive. Both are pretty effective off of her. The bans were a bit more focused on Vygar and his safety, so we'll see if that affects the rest of his team. I don't know if that left anybody wide open for the enemy team to pick, but that is something to keep in mind if you're going to be leaving somebody who in that current patch is really powerful, like, say, Kale or Sejuani from, like, 5, 6, 7 patches ago. You have to be aware if you're leaving them open if that's a good idea necessarily. But otherwise,
Yeah,
it's perfectly fine.
It left a lot of people open for the other team, but the other team didn't pick them.
Okay.
I mean, 'cause there are several other people that they could have banned, and the other team could have capitalized on being able to do that. So you're just picking selfishly so you have a good lane, and another team, or the other team can just pick champions and ruin the rest of your team's lane, and then come to your lane and ruin yours.
Well, I tell you what, we're going to have a pretty action-packed top lane.
Yeah, we got the new Teemo. After
Yeah.
all his changes, I haven't seen those yet, so they'll be fun with the Gnar.
Yeah. That's gonna be constant harassment back and forth. The blind might help Teemo. I think he comes out ahead. I think he might.
I don't know. I think unless he comes out ahead really early, I don't think that Teemo can beat a Gnar in lane. I think as long as Gnar...
he's got the blind. He's got movement speed to help dodge. Teemo might not have great kill pressure on Gnar is the only thing, unless Gnar decides to go all in. Gnar has pretty good escape mechanics with his constant slow and hop away, so I don't know. Teemo might not be able to get a clear inherent advantage, but if if Gnar stays in fights, or if he puts himself still there, I think Teemo could come out ahead, but we'll see.
Then we talk about the jungle matchup again real quick.
Yeah.
Like I was saying earlier, Elise has two builds. She can either go the Runeglaive or the Cinderhulk, and Runeglaive is really strong, but it's very early game, and you can build it and snowball the game really quick. But if you don't snowball the game really quick, then you fall off pretty hard. Or you can go Cinderhulk, and you can still snowball the game pretty quick and do decent damage. And then as the game goes on, you still do okay damage, and you become more of a CDR built tank. And then Malphite generally goes Cinderhulk. You're going to be a tank. You're clear. It's a little bit slower. Ganks pre-6 are pretty rough. If the enemy gets out of position, it's okay. They're not bad, but
yeah.
You have pretty good gank assist in your lane with Nahus and with Xerath, and then Teemo doesn't have a lot of gank assist, but
Nope.
He's also
He's
he can
pretty
also
over
be pretty.
domineering in lane, yeah.
He can be pretty safe, fairly safe. Um,
As long as
so
he
he
wards and sets his traps up right.
yeah. Um, and then with Elise, she doesn't really need a whole lot of gank assist, but she's got plenty in bottom lane, top and mid too. We want to talk about mid lane, the Veigar versus Xerath matchup.
Um, I know that Zera shouldn't have a problem with this lane. He can keep
Yeah,
his distance pretty easily. Um, it might end up just being a farm lane.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Farm lane, uh, Xerath, if he wants to use his, if he needs to use his Q to hit a couple, he wants to try to make sure he gets some harass on the Veigar to try to somewhat force him out of lane.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because once he gets a couple items and Veigar gets a couple items, and Veigar will start to hurt him and be able to play
Yeah.
a little more aggro. And then the bottom lanes, you got pretty much two all-in lanes going against each other.
Yeah.
Uh, Nautilus has the most CC in the game on any champion, but Leona's not far behind. Both tanky, so
Yeah, both that bot lane matchup, it's gonna end quickly, one way or the other.
yeah. Jinx has a little bit of follow-up CC. I mean, it's not great CC, but it's more than Graves can offer the
Yeah.
Nautilus to help.
Well, here we see Teemo hiding in the brush, and I believe with his new update, once he goes invisible in the
Yeah.
bush.
Yeah, he can move around.
Oh, we got it! I don't think Nara knows though. Here we go. Here we go. That was a canceled auto. Yeah. Oh. Oh, one more auto. Not gonna be enough. Yeah, you know what the difference was there? Teemo
The canceled
taking
auto.
Sapphire Crystal.
Oh,
If
it's the same guy.
if he's
You don't build
gonna
the same
if he's
thing.
gonna do the same build, then we're just probably not gonna have him play anymore. Cause I would hope that people take this seriously, and I don't think he's going to now. I think he's gonna do the same build over and over again, which is unfortunate because he really did have the element of surprise there, and even a Dorn's blade would have secured the win for him there. Oh well. Oh well.
Yeah. Other than the Sapphire Crystal, all the other landing starts looks alright. Except for
Both bot lanes got level 2, but oh, the Zenith Blade lands. The immediate exhaust is used. It might come back to haunt blue team if yeah. So they're down a summoner spell, and that's something to keep in mind for the next all-in engagement.
yeah. Another thing I was looking at, blue team had all of its trinkets off cooldown, and so I don't think they put any wards down in the early.
Okay. And it looks like Nautilus started W and Q first, and I was under the impression that most support Nautilus started with their E. Nice little catch there. I was wondering what your opinion was on that.
It depends. You can start Q, and you can start W also. It's all lane dependent. You can start E, you can start W, you can start Q. Sometimes I'll like hold my point until like level 2, and then kind of decide how we're playing the lane. I like to play a little aggressive and try to walk up and just see what the ADC is going to do if I'm walking at them.
Okay.
You want to start Q if you have a lot of good follow up, like like a Graves.
Yeah.
But like you could.
I feel like E gives out the most consistent damage early on in trades, but yeah, Q is a great CC starting, especially if you invade early. I feel like Q might be a good choice.
But generally your first two spells, for the most part, are Q and E, unless for some reason you're getting harassed a lot, then you can go QWE.
Yeah, in which case you're just giving up until level 3, basically.
Yeah, or E, or EWQ.
Yeah. Some early ganks by Elise coming out, that's exactly when you see however. She did get that Teemo top, which, if you're Teemo top, you take Ignite Ghost, you're painting a huge target on your back for early gank.
Yeah. And that early gank really put Gnar ahead. He's kind of bullying the Teemo now.
Yeah, once again, tier, not a combat item. It's not going to help you in trades at all, which is really what Teemo wants to do as a lane bully. He wants to initiate trades. He's really crippling his own champion. Oh. He's going to get the kill, though. A little aggressive move from Vigard there.
Yeah, that was fairly aggressive. You were that low, and you were trying to go in on the champion with the range of Xerath.
Oh wow, Teemo's just gonna be able to get out of there. Keep in mind, oh, we got action going on bot lane.
Oh wow.
What happened top lane?
Elise kind of figured that Teemo was there.
Yeah.
And hit him with the cocoon, and then shot her W, her uniform W at him, and her uniform W just like ran at Teemo and then went to the minion wave. Alright, so both ADCs lost their flash.
Yeah, and heals. Malphite, is he 6 yet? No. Oh.
No, but he can.
He needs to. Yeah, they can tower dive if they. Nah, they can't anymore. That was a good move by Jinx there to start backing right away to ensure that she got out.
Yeah, they can take this Leona though.
Maybe if Malphite tanks the tower first. They don't have Graves to back him up. They should not be doing this. Yeah, they didn't have Graves there going with it. They should have just walked away once they saw that happening.
Yeah, they should have walked away when they saw Graves wasn't going to be there. But if Graves should have seen where Malphite was and kind of figured that that's what he wanted. That's a good gank mid by Elise.
Oh wow, yeah. Getting that early game pressure out. Most lanes seem pretty even right now. I think that Nara's gonna go for a Blade of the Ruin King build, and I don't know if I necessarily think that's a great idea.
Yeah, Blade's not really all that good on Nara. Like, it sounds like it'd be a good item, and I guess it's not the worst thing you can do. But in this lane, if I was gonna go, I usually go straight tank on Nara. But if I was gonna go damage in this lane, then I'd go
Black Cleaver,
like a Hex Drinker.
Oh yeah, Hex Drinker works really well on him as well, especially against Teemo.
A good all-in by Gnar here.
You should have dominance over the lane after that. Seraph looks like oh, he just threw down a ward around Dragon. Make sure nothing happens to it. Oh. Both junglers top, here we go.
Alright.
Malphite does have ulti, might use it here. Oh, the flash! There it is. Neither jungler knew the other was coming. I would have liked to see more wards from both Teemo and Gnar.
Yeah.
Having vision for your jungler of the other would have turned the tide for Gnar and Elise maybe, or it might have made it more... You might not have a wasted flash to catch that Elise if you had seen her earlier. But yeah, it's yeah, that can really change the fight, having vision of the enemy. And
but it still would have been hard for Gnar to have the vision for Malphite, but
yeah,
Malphite should have been able to know that Elise was coming earlier.
And with that said, it looks like they just warded up a lot. And it looks like Elise has decided that bot lanes could be her next target. Bot lane is usually always... It's never a bad idea to gank bot lane, I feel like. The rewards are so high usually. There's 2 kills you can get. There's an objective right there that you can force if you're successful. Here she comes.
For the most part, whoever ganks bot lane the most will win the game. Alright. That Jinx ult was quite a bit early.
Yeah. Switched to rockets and she's got the double kill. Alright. Yeah, the Jinx ult was early, as she didn't pull off much damage. Also, the Elise, she didn't need to repel in order to initiate that fight. She was close enough to where she could just walk up and Q. And then
you also had the Leona that
and then if
started it.
Yeah, if Graves had flash, if he dashed away, she could then repel to him or switch to human form and cocoon, but she didn't need to repel in like that in order to... Happy feet! Happy feet! Happy feet from the Veigar there, dodging 4 different skill shots.
Oh wow.
He's gonna leave with his life, but his turret might not be so lucky. Malphite looking for the kill. He ain't gonna get it. Nice choice to back away in a safe area. Lisa's deep in the enemy jungle and she's smited, so that's actually not a bad idea. Whenever Malphite goes into his own jungle now on blue side, he's gonna be spotted out. And speaking of spotted out, I think, yeah, there goes Elise. She doesn't have the backup of Jinx yet, which is a little troublesome. But some traps here set up by Jinx, she can really turn the fight. Ooh.
Oh, that was
wow.
Nice. That was a good stun by Leona with Malphite under the tower.
Yep.
And in situations like that, it's really easy to panic when your ADC is just getting harassed, especially by a couple tanks.
I don't know why Nautilus walked up there. He secured his own death.
Yeah.
And potentially Graves' death as well. Nope. He gets one. It looks like Jinx is going to take the spot turret. Now that she's taking the spot turret and is going to push this next wave, what do you recommend she does next when she goes back? Let's say she's got 1,400 gold, so I think she'll be able to finish...
She should be able to finish IE. I think it's like 1365 from there. Oh no, it's just 645.
Yeah, and then get some boots as well. Maybe even Zeke's, maybe not. Um, and it looks like they should be able. She should be able to rotate right into Dragon here. But after she backs, do you think she should head mid to help maybe pressure that tower as well, or should she and Leona keep pushing bot lane?
I think at this point, her and Leona can stay bottom lane. As long as they have to keep wards up. They have to make sure that they don't get ganked. But she's still in a position where she can do okay.
Yeah.
And Veigar's been bullying the.
He was, but did he go
Xerath.
back? Is that why he wasn't part of that fight? Because Xerath
Yeah.
got to the fight there first. And yeah, I guess Veigar wasn't back yet. That was a good reaction by Red Team as a whole. They bought themselves some time to get back in this game. Looks like Teemo is back to pressuring top quite a bit. If Gnar had gone with an early Spectral's Cowl or Hex Trinker, even though Teemo's building his tier, Banner, Suzy, Rot build, he might be better off.
Yeah. Alright, Jinx picked up her Infinity Edge and Zergs. Leona keeps staying to try to protect that tower, and it's not worth it if it's that long.
Yeah. Oh, there goes Teemo. I don't know what goods here. I think Graves just got enough to finish Infinity Edge. Yeah, that's why he backed. Right now he's even in items with Jinx. And,
Yeah, Jinx is still better in a prolonged fight, but as far as burst goes,
oh yeah.
Graves has the advantage.
Ooh. Necessary flash there. Or unnecessary, I should say.
I don't know how unnecessary it was.
He just put himself in a poor position to begin with.
Yeah, it could have been an avoidable flash, but at the time where it happened,
Yeah.
it was very necessary.
Oh, Nautilus. Ooh. Whoa. Oof. Oof. Wow.
Oh,
That
wow.
Veigar ulti.
Yeah, Veigar's doing some damage now, and this is why I said that Jinx could stay bottom lane right now and put some pressure on that towers, because Veigar's taking care of Xerath. He needs to start pushing the wave after he kills him. That way it denies farm to Xerath, and then also you're also going to take some damage off that tower, and eventually you're going to take the tower down.
Looks like mid tower's gonna go. Malphite doesn't have ulti, yeah. Alright, so now that they pressure mid, they might react to
Yeah, I would
bot.
just go straight top.
They can go straight top, yeah. It looks like they're gonna trade 2 for 1 on towers, and if they do that, they do have to be careful for shrooms. Teemo has decided to go all in once he realized people were coming, but ouch. No, Jinx, you need to keep pushing.
Take the tower.
They need, at least one of them needs to stay and take the tower. The rest need to go back and see if they can protect. I really like the reaction Graves and Nautilus had to seeing everybody go top. Like,
Yeah, they just kept pushing.
yeah, that was very, very nice. I was kind of open when Jinx and them took the mid tower. They go right bot, but they saw an opportunity top, but that opportunity came with a cost. So instead of trading 2 for 1, they trade 2 for 2. And one of those was a tier 2 turret, so kudos to Red Team. Oh, here comes a teleport from Nar behind. I don't know if he's gonna be able to do
doesn't
that
have any
much. He
rage
doesn't
bar.
have rage built up. He needs to start building it right now, though, if he's gonna make this fight happen. Oh, Nar.
Alright, blue team did a pretty good job cleaning that up.
Yeah. Go look at items real quick. Malphite's build is pretty good. Elise's is alright. Like, that's the Broomglaive option, and Leandry's into it is okay. They're lacking a bit of a front line if Nar isn't their Mega. So he's got to be very... They might have to play around their Nar being Mega most of the time for this fight, but he's going all in now. Graves built Static Shiv, and I don't know how I feel about Static Shiv, to tell the truth. I prefer Phantom Dancer a lot more.
Yeah, I do as well.
I mean, it's not that big a difference. It's pretty, but I feel like Phantom Dancer, just the damage output's more flat out, even with the AOE. Yeah, Vigar's at that unfortunate point where you can just delete anybody who has AP on them. Do you want to go over the Xerath build at all? He rushed Ludens, and I'm not sure that's necessarily the best option. Oh, that rocket.
Yeah, I don't think Ludens is the best option.
He's not somebody that utilizes movement speed that well.
Yeah, I don't really know what the best option would be. I'm not very good at Xerath. Probably just a death cap to start the game with, or
yeah, or some sort of CDR item too would help him out a lot. Yeah. It looks like he's building a Negatron cloak into Abyssal Scepter, and I really can't recommend that against Vigar, even though you're probably being one-shot and all. It's not gonna help you because you're building AP. He's gonna do that damage to you no matter what. You just gotta play around his stun and stay safe.
Can you zone as a Vigar ult?
I believe you can, yeah. As long as you're not stunned, yeah.
That might be your best options.
Yeah.
As Xerath.
But yeah, if he's building Abyssal, it's not gonna help him at all.
No, you're gonna be too far away to actually take advantage.
Yeah, you won't be able. Yeah,
of
you won't be able to utilize
Abyssal passive.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I could be
it's
wrong.
Decent
He could be
stats otherwise, but you should be too far away to really take full advantage of Abyssal.
This Teemo is being very aggressive with how far he is in the jungle. Having boots would help him out a lot, I feel like. Otherwise, he'll just end up like a chop liver. Yeah, having boots, he probably would have lived through all that.
Oh, that was a good Zenith play there.
It was. Blue team can really start snowballing objectives right here. They can choose to take Baron. I feel like they could take Baron right now, or they can try and force a tower mid.
Yeah, they could definitely take Baron. They could also take mid.
I would like to see either one taken though.
Yeah, Jinx is pretty big. She can take pretty much whatever she wants at this point, as long as the
she's
team's
split
there.
off from. Nope. Okay, nothing's gonna happen now because she decided to go bot. That's a mistake. They have no way to siege this tower with autos now. They might be able to get a kill. I won't be surprised if they do. But can you imagine if Jinx was there right now? How much of a cleanup this would be for Jinx?
Yeah, Malphite would have been dead.
Yeah.
30 seconds ago.
And they would have taken the tower. Instead, she pushed out bot lane one wave and bought a static shit. You're just delaying the game. You're not taking advantage of what was handed to you.
As Graves, I can understand the static shift. It helps your burst a little bit. As Jinx, whenever you have 7 kills, you shouldn't be backing for a static shift.
No.
You should be backing for Phantom
You already
Dancer.
do enough AoE with your rockets anyway.
Yeah. Your
It's
Phantom Dancer is going to do a
way
lot more damage than the static shift is for you.
There really shouldn't be a tier 2 mid tower right now. It's really bothering me. Alright. Let's see here. Teemo's gonna try and keep applying pressure in the sidelines, and his distraction might be enough to get to a point where Xerath can start contributing more in team fights. But if blue team is pretty far ahead, especially if they keep Jinx safe. If they keep her safe, they can win any team fight. So, and so she's kind of roaming. Is she taking wolves right now? Come on. You're so far ahead. Use your power for good. Malphite's gonna come behind her and wreck her day. Oh, instead he's gonna ult Vygar.
Okay. Leona, you don't have to flash to use your ult. It's hit a range.
Ooh! Nice ulti. Too bad they don't have the damage to follow it up. Oh, they might have enough. They might have enough. There's one kill. She's excited. She can finish them all off with just one more. Oh! She's gonna get another! Ooh! They get away.
Yeah. She keeps using her, like, at that time I understood the ult. He has some low people around and might have been able to get them from the AoE.
I will say that Frank the Tank is hard to deal with as an Elise.
Yeah, but Teemo's not.
Yeah. If only he had better items. Oh well. It's ironic that his name's T-Force Podcast, because they would never recommend that build in all honesty.
No.
I think both teams know Dragon's coming up. I think Elise and Jinx are headed there now. Let me check vision real quick. Blue team has no vision of it. Red team has a little bit of vision. Red team could probably burst it down in time, to tell the truth. Even if she has a ward over, I don't think she'll react. Oh! Wow. Yeah, he got it.
You know, at that point, that was Red Team's first dragon, and your team's way ahead.
Yeah, you don't have to sacrifice yourself.
Yeah, you don't have to sacrifice yourself for that.
Whoa.
You could have walked around as a team and gotten ready, and even after they took it, you could have engaged in a fight and probably won.
Red team might be able to either A, take this tower. I don't think they can take Baron, but
I don't think they take Banner. They should be able to take the tower. They chunked out a couple people.
their mini wave actually is stuck. They're gonna get nothing out of that team fight.
Look at Leona.
So
Nope.
tanky. She too tanky. Is too tanky. Triple kill? No. get it. Alright, so...
Team low split pushing still.
Yeah. I want to talk about Xerath's build a bit. He's been run low on mana these last couple fights. He has no mana regeneration item. And he has... Instead of doing anything with that Negatron cloak, he decided to build the Haunting Guise while he was at it. Haunting Guise is not going to do much for you by itself in the mid-game. It needs to be an early game item that you build into Leandry's, or you just need to buy Leandry's outright. And Leandry's really wouldn't be the right build here either, I feel like. The only person who's tanky on the other team is Gnar.
And it's not really that great of an item on Xerath. You want...
Yeah.
You
it
want
used to be on
burst.
old Xerath, to tell the truth. But... this build doesn't... You can build them very like you might think you can, oh, it's a basic build, it won't do that much, but a very basic build of like Death Cap, Zanya's, Void Staff with a CDR item like Athene's or Morello's. You're gonna pump out so much damage. But with this, you're not gonna do that much. And it looks like Nautilus is going to be going for Righteous Glory as his second item. So he's going to have two big health items with little to no resists. And I feel like after finishing Face of the Mountain, well, I guess Frozen Heart was already taken by Malphite, but maybe an armor item would have helped out a bit because if Jinx is so fed, he needs to be able to stand up to her a bit.
Having a second Frozen Heart on your team isn't necessarily bad.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just... Oh, that flash.
Yeah, right there you should have saved your flash. You probably didn't know if his ult was up or not, and you just kind of assume it is. And either save flash to try to get away from his ult, or save flash for his ult, or just take his ult.
Teemo might come in from behind and wreck their day. Oh, he's
trying to set a trap.
He's setting a trap, Jinx. Oh no, Jinx. Oh,
It doesn't matter. He doesn't do any damage.
He might do enough if his blind blast. Ah, she's almost at full health. Here we go. As I say, Leona's gonna stun him right away if he pops out. Metal Gear Solid over here. Oh, looks like a call for Baron may have been made.
Yeah, well, Righteous Glory isn't a bad item, and probably could have used one on your team. With just how far ahead Jinx is, it's still probably effective to get the Frozen Heart.
Some sort of
also.
armor item, yeah. Randuin's, especially after this next patch, will be very strong.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited about that.
Oops.
Cause I built it anyway on my supports.
No, boy, Jinx needs to go in there and help out right away. The whole blue team needs to collapse and protect her. She's away from her team. She can take Malphite one-on-one though, I feel like.
Yeah.
If she doesn't cancel her autos and use her slow.
Gnar missed a lot of his CC.
There she goes. Jinx
You
needs to
gotta
be
be careful.
protected. She can't be
Yeah.
isolated like that. And that's both on her and her teammates.
Well, Gnar was there, but he missed a lot of his skills.
Looks like he gets away. Alright, blue team. You guys need to figure out an objective and focusing group for it, because your strength is in Jinx. It could just be a group of 3 or 4 around Jinx. You don't need everybody there to support her. But make sure you're there next to her with whatever objective you decide, whether it's top lane inhibitor, maybe it's dragon. You guys just need to be a bit decisive with your next move here, because that'll allow you to finish the game quickly and avoid any potential comebacks from the other team.
Yeah, you've also got your Elise is full AP, so while it's strong right now, eventually it's not going to be.
Could she not see him?
Yeah, she should have been able to see him.
What the heck? What the heck is What? What is going on? Maybe it only keeps him from going invisible for a while. Maybe he's already invisible. It doesn't put him effect. Weird.
Maybe she didn't have a ward in the bush.
She still should have been able to see it.
I thought so too.
Huh. Interesting.
But maybe not.
But yeah, right now they're being distracted by Teemo. They're letting this game drag on. They're not utilizing their strength, which is right now, and he just got cut out of position. That's game over for Tiger. Ooh. Whoa, that's a very aggressive Malphite ult. He's not gonna be able to get out of there alive. That's a simple adjustment that can be made by seeing where your team is and if they're able to follow the move you just made.
Yeah, he was by himself. His team was taking mid. I don't know if he was intending on deciding so his team could take mid, which I don't think makes sense. But
yeah, that made inhibs open if they want to take it. If Elise get groups with Leona right now, they could probably pressure it pretty quickly. Wait for Vigar to catch up. Yeah, they can take it. Ooh, that crit.
yeah, and this is where bullet Elise starts hurting. Or starts falling off.
That Malphite is just kicking ass and taking names. Whoops, fuck. That's not what I wanted. Oh, that mushroom! Oh, just a little bit more coordinated play from these guys from blue team is going to result in a lot better and a win, but they just keep kind of half-assing their decisions. They need to go full on with the decision, stick with it. They can't decide if they want to make picks in the jungle, go for the inhib, maybe both at the same time. Now you kind of got to make a decision between the two.
Yeah, like that fight right there, they could have got the inhibitor fast and then turned on whatever.
I mean, they might not have had enough, and looking back, they may not have enough time, but they delayed themselves from even having the option. It was, yeah. They just need to be decisive with their decision, and then execute that decision, which basically the execution should be keep Jinx alive.
Yeah, Jinx is building a Guardian's Angel right now.
I think that's alright.
It's okay. I think Banshee's Veil would be better this game because she's not getting like insta give or killed in a rotation
Yeah.
or one rotation death.
It's
she's just
death
not
by
getting killed
1,000
for.
paper cuts. Yeah. They only need one person to go back. That's fine. Send Elise. That's good. Now they're committing. Take it. Nice. If they want, they could probably go bot right now and take a tier 2 turret. I don't think they can take any Nexus. Oh, I think Malphite just killed himself. No. They can get one Nexus turret. Maybe two. I don't know if they'll be able to finish though. Oh, no they are. They are gonna finish. Nautilus is up in 1 second. Oh.
Right,
Kill the Graves, kill the Graves. I
Here.
don't know why Jinx wasn't focusing the Graves there. She's afraid of them. She's gotta trust her damage output there.
She's afraid. She was afraid of the Nautilus, or not Nautilus, the Malphite, because that's just been killing her.
Yeah, but his ult was
her team's
down.
not killing her off.
His ult was down. There's nothing he could do. Oh. 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 Ooh. Wow.
The red
buff. That looks like it's gonna be game. They can finish here. Oh. It might be delayed a bit.
Alright. Right here, Leona, sacrifice yourself.
Yeah. Jeez. Alright, let's see here.
Alright, you got 30 seconds before everybody's up. I'd say red team, if you want have a chance.
They should have rushed
as soon as
Baron.
Graves gets up, run to Baron.
Yeah. They pinged Dragon. And they're not gonna have time to do either right at this point. I saw. If they rush Baron, they should be able to do it. I don't know if blue team's even worried about Baron. But like, this step here, taking that wave at the entrance to their base and then taking red right now. That's such a huge delay for the Baron rush that they need to pull off. Oh, get in there. We need that. They need that DPS. They're gonna get it.
Yeah.
And it's a good trade for them.
Red team's not focused on anything except for Teemo.
Yeah. There he goes. The distraction. The global taunt, as some like to call it.
Yeah. Red team right there just took Dragon and Baron.
Wait, red team took Dragon? No, blue team took Dragon.
No.
Yeah, red
How?
team only has one.
Oh, they must have missed
They
the
didn't send
steal.
anybody down there. Teemo was the only one in the area. Yeah. Red team has the opportunity to delay. Never mind. Fight's already started. If they don't kill Jinx, they're done for. And with that Guardian Angel, that's a tall pass.
That and that's one of their engages is down.
Nice Malfightle. It's a little too late though.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Is it? Ooh. Looks like Jinx is gonna be able to end the game. Maybe. Nope. She should at least rotate to that bot tower and hit. But it looks like Viger's got it anyway.
Was Viger not in any of that fight?
No, he wasn't. He was pushing bot. The saving grace right now is that Baron. But it's gonna wear out by the time those super minions start pouring in. Then red team's gonna have a really hard time. Woo! Vigar gets out barely.
What builds out of Chain Vest? Is it it's just Thornmail and
Sunfire King
Sunfire
and Guardian Angel.
I guess Nautilus is trying to go for Thornmail.
Oh yeah, it looks like he's going for Thornmail.
Oh yeah, he just got that Chain Vest or the cloth
Yeah,
armor.
the cloth armor to go with it. Oh, the Happy Feet aren't enough this time. Vigar goes down. This game might just continue on forever at this rate. It really should have ended like 15 minutes ago. The patient Timo. Who is in no way affiliated with the T-Force podcast.
Yeah.
She's got nowhere to go. Wow, red team is actually gonna... They're actually gonna be able to... Someone's gonna have to go back to base here pretty soon and deal with those super minions, but wow. They were able to come out and be aggressive.
Yeah, they have really good engage and like a lot of CC on their team. So it's not in a situation where they absolutely can't win.
Well, with the Death of Graves here, it kinda
Oh,
is.
that flash.
If you had flash, why didn't you use it to dodge the Leona Stoner slow from Jinx? Oh well. Timo, though, on the other hand. I know he's trying his hardest to win, but I feel like he wouldn't be playing this way if this was solo queue. That's all we kind of ask from people, is to act like it's a solo queue.
We have X-Pek,
Yeah. Bansu Killer! Bansu Killer! Is not going to be able to get the last couple hits required to take down the Nexus. Red team is alive for a little bit longer. If Jinx is anywhere close to that Nexus, though, that's like 3 autos from her and it's done. Blue team is kind of going in one by one. They're not...
Yeah, I don't know what Leona's doing there by herself.
Oh, she's baiting, obviously. It was planned all along. There he goes. Oh, no way! Oh, but that's the game. They took down the Jinx to no avail. Oh, that game. Oh, valiant defense. Valiant effort by red team, but in the end, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah. I don't know what it was tonight, but saw a lot of supports being alone.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, this game wasn't as bad because they're tanky.
But yeah, I'm gonna just ask the people from now on. Oh wait, did I accidentally ban somebody who didn't need to be banned from Twitch chat? I don't know. It looked like spam. Who knows? Um. Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and go to the advanced stats here for the final game. Vigar. What is this obsession with Luden's Echo that we see in every game? I feel like it's a very situational item that doesn't apply to slow plotting.
It's one of the newer items, and people just want to play with it.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel it isn't that much of use when on Vigar or Xerath. I feel like there's better options, but
Yeah,
besides that, his build is pretty solid.
it's like a static shift, kind of. It just gives you a little more burst.
Yeah.
And by a little, I mean a little.
Made some pretty good plays. Was able to dominate mid lane. It took a while to get that first mid tower down, but once it took blue team overall just too long to take stuff with the lead they had. Like, it took them forever to take a first tier tower mid. It took them forever to get that inhib when they could have gotten it. It was just, they needed to be more decisive with the lead they had. And
well, the biggest thing about the tower mid, I would say, is Vanguard didn't necessarily want to take that tower super fast, but he did want to push the tower. Like, whenever he killed Xerath, he wanted to push the wave in a tower before he went back, instead of leaving it in the middle of his lane. And the minions would have eventually eroded that tower down, where the way he did it, it took longer for that tower to fall.
Yeah.
But he like that with that tower being up, Xerath was more vulnerable to him, and he was out playing Xerath more often than not. And it was like, and he was a lot safer to farm with Xerath's tower still there.
Yeah. I thought he did a pretty good job overall. His builds for the most part is pretty good. I'm fine with upgraded stealth trinket or stealth totem. Yeah, he made good plays. He played it safe. Was able to kite for his team pretty well. I'm gonna move on down to Gnar. Starting Doran's Blade is fine. Building Bladed the Ruin King first on Gnar, I think we both kind of feel that there are a lot better options out there.
Yeah. I would either go the Hex Drinker or just build into like a Frozen Mallet.
Yeah.
And also wouldn't build Righteous Glory on a champion that doesn't have mana.
Yeah, Righteous... You kind of use your poke to slow, and then you can just hop in and engage. Righteous Glory, I feel like, doesn't help Gnar that much unless you're right there about to transform. Whereas with Gnar, you're usually working to transform as you engage. It's a weird balance, and I feel like Righteous Glory, it kind of works, but if you wanted a straight-up health item, Frozen Mallet, and that gives you a ton of health, and it gives you a way to slow anybody who you auto.
Yeah, Frozen Mallet is really strong. Like, Gnar's probably the strongest champion for Frozen Mallet.
Going on down to Leona. I like her build for the most part. The Aegis works, or Locket works really well. I'm wondering what the Catalyst and the
Catalyst is going to be a Righteous Glory.
And Glacial Shroud, though.
That was going to be a Frozen Heart, I'm sure.
Okay.
Both times would have been fine, but I would have went one or the other.
Yeah.
Don't really build pieces. The only time you build pieces is if you're starting to build something, and then
it also didn't leave her room to have pink wards in her inventory, which is the biggest sin as a support. So, yeah. Build one item at a time, and especially on support when you're limiting your inventory, because you need to have multiple pink wards ready to go, especially when you have a team on the other team. I
He
do
did
like.
have 5 pink wards placed that game, so
Yeah,
wasn't terrible.
yeah. And the 3 upgraded sweepers was great on the blue team. Kudos to everybody for doing that. Jinx build. I think we both would have liked Phantom Dancer a lot more.
Yeah, Phantom Dancer is just a stronger item.
Mhm.
On pretty much everybody. Graves gets away with Shiv because he's more of a burst mage, a burst ADC,
Mhm.
and a spell casting ADC. So he wants to get in there. He wants to dash in Q auto with the Shiv proc and then ult. And whereas Jinx, you just want to auto attack them to death, and Phantom Dancer is way better for that.
Mhm.
And also, um, you were talking about, I saw in all chat whenever I think Xerath was ulting, and you said the minions blocked you from moving. That wouldn't happen with a Phantom Dancer,
Oh yeah.
because you can walk through minions. But and when you get excited, it also really helps to have the Phantom Dancer because you don't get minion blocked while you're chasing people down. So Phantom Dancer is just all around better. The only time you switch around from Phantom Dancer to Shiv is if you get way behind.
Yeah. Going back to chat. Yeah, I can see why. I can see why Ludens would work on Vigar. I hadn't thought about that, being having more move speed to put your box. I'll have to test it out. I'm not a big Vigar player, but that seems like it might work. So yeah, try it out, see how it feels. Oh yeah, back to Jinx. If you go back through some of the fights, especially at the end around the Nexus, there are some parts where, like, you knew that Malphite had ulted. He's not that much of a threat to you at the moment. If you take 4 steps to your left, there's a Graves whose entire focus is on the Elise that's in his face, and you can just one-shot Graves right then and there, get that movement speed burst, and keep, like, prioritizing targets was a little bit of a struggle. And I know a lot of that was because Malphite was in your face a lot, just like throwing his fists at you, knocking you up, throwing wheels of stone at you. And sometimes your team wasn't there to protect you, but also sometimes you weren't by your team for them to protect you. It was a delicate balance, and so I think that your positioning in team fights could use a little bit of work. Go back to replays, like, just keep in mind what the enemy has, what abilities they have, and what you need to watch out for, and make sure your teammates are nearby to help you get through those. So yeah, just something to work on would be positioning during team fights. Did you have anything to add for Jinx?
No, she did pretty well.
She did.
I think the biggest things that we talked about were just a couple items that could have been better. You could have snowballed the game better with a Phantom Dancer than a static Shiv.
Also, yeah, go ahead.
You probably should have went with the Banshee's Veil instead of Guardian Angel, because you weren't. Guardian Angel is really good against assassins that blow their load, and then they don't have anything, or whenever you're getting deleted really fast, and you weren't. Like, nobody on the other team was really deleting you that fast, and you were just kind of dying slowly. And if you had that Banshee's Veil, then
it makes it a lot harder for Malphite to engage on you.
Yeah, and if you're positioned well, the Malphite wouldn't have been able to engage, or Nautilus wouldn't have been able to engage, or they would have had to just wait for a while until somebody would pop it if you were positioned right.
Mm-hmm. And one more thing, I know it sounds like we're picking on you, but you were the win condition of this game basically. So there was a lot of focus on you. So don't worry about it. But there was that decision where you could have gotten a tier 2 mid turret after you had killed 2 of the enemy team, and you went to take a wave bot lane so you could finish your static Shiv. That was a pretty big mistake. That wave bot lane wasn't threatening anything, if I remember correctly. It wasn't threatening a tower or another objective. It was just chilling there close to your base, and you could have snowballed so much from that point. Not like your team got 2 kills, I think, and they lost somebody while trying to take that tier 2 turret. And if you were there, you could have either probably gotten a clean ace, or and gotten the tower, or just gotten the tower if they had backed off. So it's a win-win. Yeah, just go back. That moment just really stood out. You did really great this game, but because you were the win condition for so many different parts of this game, are gonna probably heap a lot of criticism on you.
Yeah. Whenever you're the one racking up all the kills and you're the one that's going to carry the game, you're automatically going to get more focus. Which, I mean, 17, 5, and 13, you did really well, but we were looking at you, so we saw more mistakes in you than other people.
Yeah. So going on to Elise, I actually kind of like your build. You could, to tell the truth, you could interchange Runeglaive and Cinderhulk and keep all the other items the same, or maybe throw in another magic resist item. All those items work really well with Elise, and yeah. So
a lot of people will do that. They'll build that build, and then in late game they'll switch to Cinderhulk. Just because your damage, as I'm sure you could tell against the tankier champions. Like earlier in the game, you didn't have a problem with the Malphite and the Nihilist, but later in the game, you killed them just a little bit slower. They didn't really prioritize any MR, so you still killed them okay. But if you would switch to Cinderhulk, you still would have killed them just fine. Yeah. And
yeah,
you would have had a little more durability.
Alright, so yeah. Moving on to Graves. He did pretty well throughout most of the game. He attacked what was in front of him.
Yeah, I can't really fault him for anything that he did.
Maybe QSS instead of Guardian Angel. Because if he dies in a team fight, the other team's just gonna clean up. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Guardian Angel, to tell the truth.
Yeah, it depends on the other team and the rest of your team too. Really, how effective it can be. Because I mean, if you're the biggest carry and you die, and then the rest of your team's just gonna fall apart. And
he wasn't
not be able to
dying early on in fights.
Yeah.
I mean, so I don't think it was an issue. The issue was getting caught by a Vigar stun or a Elise stun or a slow or a Leona type deal. Like, there's a lot of things he could have QSS'd.
Yeah, QSS would have probably been better for you.
But most of the build's pretty great.
Yeah, other than that, I don't see anything wrong with the build except for Trinket. You should have went blue Trinket.
Yeah, Scrying Orbs are really helpful on 80 carries.
You have to get too close to bushes to ward them, and I don't know. There's a couple times that you can kind of see that if you go back and watch. You can kind of see that a couple times with the Nihilist. He'll go to ward a bush, and Elise is there and kills him. And that could have easily been you because you had the warding trinket. Whereas if you had the scrying orb, and you could have warded the bush way in front of you, essentially.
Yeah. Alright, moving on to Malphite. He actually did a pretty good job of reacting and focusing on the target, on the enemy threat, which was Jinx, most of the time. And his build really does reflect that.
Yeah, I don't have any problem with his build. I don't know. Maybe. No, never mind.
Yeah, I can't really think of anything. Like, he was able to isolate Jinx and basically kill her one-on-one, which is pretty impressive. And
you want to get a sweeper out of the jungle. You just want to get a sweeper out of the jungle 99% of the time. If you absolutely have to stay with your trinket ward, then you need to upgrade it.
Oh.
But
yeah, go ahead.
But a sweeper is almost always better out of the jungle because you need to have a clear path to gank, and you also need a clear vision for their laner so that they don't know where you're coming from or when you're coming.
Yep. And going back to that dive bot they tried to coordinate onto Leona.
Oh
Um,
yeah, early in the game.
so both Graves needs to be aware of where his jungler is and what he's planning to do, and Malphite needs to make sure that Graves is part of this plan to dive bot, because otherwise they didn't have any damage to kill her.
Yeah,
So.
you need to really communicate that.
Mhm.
Like say, hey, we're diving, like like
And
just
when you leave
in
yourself
chat.
standing there, just like, oh, are we doing this? It just leaves Leona to walk up, hit you, and make you take more damage than you need to. So.
Yeah, in chat you could just say diving and then start pinging on Leona and then ping on your way and then just annoy the crap out of Graves until he's like, okay, I'm gonna go with you,
Yeah. All right.
and
Same.
then you kill her and walk away.
Nautilus.
Um,
I didn't notice too much. I apologize in advance because I'm not gonna be able to come up with much helpful criticism or feedback for you. Maybe throw your ult down more. I didn't see too many ult attempts on Jinx herself. I think I forget if he was peeling for Graves or not during team fights. I'm sure he was. But
Alright. Um, my thing for Nautilus is I would have waited on Righteous Glory. Your team could have used one. You're okay, but at the same time, you're engaged. You can engage from a distance and be fine. Malphite engages from a distance, so Righteous Glory wasn't as big of a deal for your team.
and the armor would have helped a lot more.
And you finished your Ruby Sightstone, and you weren't full build.
Yeah.
That's very gold and effective. And you didn't have any support items, and you weren't building a support item. Like you finished your Face of the Mountain, which is a support item, but you finished Righteous Glory, which is just like and it is a team utility item, but when I say support item, I mean like a team-wide defensive item, something that helps your whole team, and usually has CDR like a Locket or Frozen Heart or something like that.
Mhm.
And generally, those two items are one of those two items at least is kind of a core on supports, and
Yeah.
you needed one, and really you needed the Frozen Heart because you were generally one of the people that were around Jinx, and just because you tab and Malphite has a Frozen Heart doesn't mean you can't build one too.
True.
There's some items that you only need one in a game, but Frozen Heart doesn't hurt to have more than one.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
And then Thornmail, it's okay, but again, it's not really a support item. You're not really helping your team out. It just does a little bit of return damage to the Jinx as she hits you. So you would have been better off with Frozen Heart than that, or a Locket.
All right. Cool. Moving on to Xerath. I think I just don't like Ludens as an item overall. I'm sure. I'm probably really biased. I just don't like it. I'm sure it's good on some champs in certain scenarios, or it's good on some champs, but I just feel like I would never build it on Xerath, and I wouldn't build Leandries on Xerath much, and I especially wouldn't build Abyssal Scepter, because you're a long-range artillery cannon that fires death from above, and you're not going to be able to utilize the passive of it very much, if at all. And B, when you're up against a Veigar, that magic resist isn't going to do jack shit. Like, it's going to help a bit, but you're still building AP, and his ult's still going to delete you if you get within range because you've been stunned or something like that. So, yeah, I have an issue with those three items. I feel like you have been able to deal a lot more consistent damage. I mean, when I saw you got the Morellos, I've noticed you started dealing a lot more damage, especially with Void Staff too. But yeah, of those three, try considering, especially switching out Abyssal Scepter. Those two, I guess, you can live with. Maybe you've had some success with them in the past, but this item especially, I would highly not recommend building that on Seraph. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I appreciate that you're trying to find a way to adjust to your lane with the Abyssal, but when you're against a Vigar, the way you adjust to your lane is you try to keep your range, try to position well, where either he's gonna have to flash ult you, or you can kind of stay away from him, especially Xerath. You can walk up to CS and then kind of just watch how he moves and make sure that he doesn't all in you with the ult. Um, you ran barrier, which is good. Um, I didn't really notice you using it early in the game. I wasn't paying a whole lot of attention to that, but yeah, the Morellos should have been a rush, either that or Athene's, but yeah, I don't know. At least went full damage, so Athene's would have been okay.
yeah. All right.
Landry's not great. Luden's not great. You could have went, what was it? Zonya's.
Oh yeah.
I think would have been better for you.
All right. You had some pretty good ults in there. You cut some people out. You used your stun pretty effectively. I saw a couple times, especially on Jinx at the end. Yeah, at the end you started throwing down that damage that you needed just a little bit earlier in the game. So you were almost there. I feel like the build hindered how much damage you're able to do, but for the most part in teamfights you had pretty good positioning. Be aware of yourself and where the enemy is when you ult. There was one point where you started to ult and Vigar just walked up and stunned you, but I think he was kind of coming from the fog of war, so I can't really blame you too much for that. But yeah, just be mindful of where you're ult and that you're rooted, but otherwise, yeah, you're throwing out the damage there at the end. Teemo, I mean, I get it. It's funny. I would really appreciate if people took this game mode a bit more seriously than that, though. You're not going to go into ranked as Teemo and use that build, so please don't do it here. If you do that again, I'm probably going to ban you from Battle Arena. So don't do that again. Take it seriously and play what you would play in ranked. It was interesting to see the new Teemo, though, and got to see a couple shroom jumps and that weird invisible synergy he has to move in bushes and not be. It's weird. It's cool. Weird. Don't do it again. Thank you. Alright. Moving on to wards. 41 by Nautilus. That's a great number. I like that. Leona at 36. That's pretty good. Both Graves and Xerath had good warding numbers. Teemo, he uses his shrooms to ward, so not that big a deal. 3 pinks for Nautilus, 1 each for. I would like to see some pinks come out of Malphite.
I have something for Nautilus.
Yeah?
I was looking at the wards and he bought 11 green wards.
Mm-hmm. That's
So
okay.
I went back and looked and he didn't have a sight stone until 24 minutes.
Oh, oh, okay. Yeah.
He built face of the mountain completely before he moved on to Sightstone.
Okay.
Generally on your first back, you want to get Sightstone. And you didn't have boots until, we had brown boots at 16 minutes and then Mobius at 35. Generally on your first back, you want Sightstone. And if you back with 1600, you want Sightstone and Moby boots. Like, that's how important those items are. Is you want them first.
Yeah.
And if you back with like 1300, you can either go Sightstone and then upgrade your gold item once, or you can go Sightstone and a pink ward and brown boots.
Mm-hmm.
But you definitely want to get Sightstone way before 24 minutes, and you want to have Mobius way before 35 minutes.
Yeah.
because that really affects how much you can roam around the map and make plays, roam around the map and ward, how much you can just ward, and and you know, you can't really switch to sweeper. I mean, you did at 11 minutes, but you know, at that point you should have also been able to have your sightstone.
Yep. Yeah. Also, Malphite, you didn't purchase any pink wards. Pink wards are very useful as a jungler. I think I said earlier that denying vision of you is so effective in a game. Them having not having any knowledge of where the enemy jungler is, that makes them play differently. So,
and you also only place 4 wards and never switch
Yeah.
from your trinket ward.
Yeah, more wards coming out of the jungle would have helped out quite a bit. We saw that you and Elise run into each other, and Elise didn't buy that many wards either. She bought some more pinks, but she didn't really buy that many wards either, and you guys ran into each other top lane. It was like a surprise fest, whereas if one of you had been maybe stopped by earlier top lane and dropped a ward, or asked your top lane, you can even ask somebody to say, hey, drop a ward here, or hey, have they warded anywhere nearby up there? Usually they'll have an idea if there's a ward nearby. And you can use that info to maneuver around so that you're not seen, or to do some sort of surprise counter gank. So, yeah, both junglers I'd like to see a bit more warding in general. Did you have anything else to add before we ended the stream?
No, not really. Yeah, just warding out of the jungle is really important. You can look at some of the LCS junglers that don't build it on everybody that they build it on. Like, if you look at like Move, Vision's so important that he builds a sightstone on Nidalee.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't recommend that you would build it on Nidalee, but if you're playing a tanky jungle like Malphite, that sightstone doesn't hurt. If you're building Cinderhulk, you actually get some pretty effective health out of it, and you're able to provide vision not only for you but for your team as well. That you can help your mid laner see if there's any ganks coming. You can help your top laner see if ganks are coming. You can make sure that your objectives are warded. You can get deep wards just so you know what side of the map to be on. And it's very important to have vision in the right places. And if you're a team with 2 sightstones, you can have the map just completely covered.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And you know exactly where the jungler is, and you can set up fights so easy and pick people off. And I'm not saying to build sightstone every game, but you need to buy wards. You need to buy green wards. You need to buy pink wards. One of the LCS junglers last split, I was watching an interview and they were talking about wards, and they said, you know, I only get to buy 5 items because I have to have 1 slot open for wards. And I mean, vision is very important and it wins games.
It is. Very true. Alright. With that, I think we're going to end the stream. Thank you guys for coming out. You were awesome. Let me know if you add us in game. Ugly Tuco Frownpower, we're always open to discuss the game. If you notice us saying something stupid or wrong, I do it all the time. Go ahead and let me know. I try to keep improving as well as we try to help you guys improve. We hope you all had fun, and we'll catch you. The next event for us will be probably Saturday for Bronze Boot Camp. And,
also, tournament Saturday.
Oh, it's this Saturday. Oh my. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go with it.
We have a tournament coming up this Saturday. It's the Beatdown on the Bridge. You can find it at reddit.com/r/tforce network. It's sticky at the top of the page. Essentially, it's a draft pick on the ARAM mode. We're going to pick team captains. I know Horse Doctor wants to play. I think Baum's playing. So we'll have some high-level people, and they're going to be our team captains, and they're going to draft their own teams, and they're going to pull everybody together, and we're going to have separate rooms for everybody, and we're just going to have a fun little tournament. Extra prizes. Hold on, I'll pull up the prizes real quick and run them over real quick. I know first place is like 1600 RP.
Wow.
Yeah, it is pretty good. 1600 RP, Triumphant Rise skin. Rise if you don't have him, a 401 RP boost. Second place team gets 1200 RP, third place team gets 800 RP, and fourth place team gets 400 RP. So, and fifth through eighth place even gets a 4-win IP boost, so, and everybody gets one
Nice.
that wins. So, yeah, come out this Saturday. It'll be about 3 o'clock. It's right after Bronze Boot Camp.
That's 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
Right. Just pretty much as soon as Bronze Boot Camp ends, we'll probably give Horse Doctor and the people that were playing a few minutes to relax after their games, and then we'll get right into the tournament, get everybody put on teams and separated, and a bracket set up real quick, and then all the games will be played Saturday, and you'll have your RP as soon as Riot sends it.
Yep, it'll be awesome. Great prizes, great event. Prove your worth. You probably have a chance to beat up me or Frown in the tournament. Yeah. So come by and participate.
Yeah, ban my bard.
And ban his bard. Alright, see you guys later.